wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Welcome on, my lovely goblins and ghouls of the internet. I am Anyo, your demonic cinephile. And good choice, well, good choice for demonic, huh? Because Omen is our choice of talk today. And what an unholy choice it is. Alright, so enough of the joking. The upcoming the first Omen is coming out soon in a couple of weeks. April 2 weeks. Time recording this, April 6th, I think it is. So I thought I'd quickly jump in and try to record these to watch all the Omen movies, because I have only seen the first two. I seen the original like once or twice a long time ago, and I seen the remake a bunch of times. I know a lot about the other two movies, not the other three movies, but I never actually watched them. Oh, and I also seen that TV show that came out like in 2013. That got canceled really quickly. I don't think we'll talk about the one. Maybe if I have time, but I kind of doubt it. But no. So the original Omen came out all the way back in 1976, directed by the great Richard Donner, the same guy who gave us the first two Superman movies, starring Gregory Peck, Lee Remick, David Warner, Billy Whitewall, and Leo McCreen. So, if you don't know what the movie's about, which kind of hard and impossible, this movie's kind of worked its way into pop culture, or at least horror culture. It's kind of, I doubt most people don't know what this movie's about, unless you just live under a rock. But movie is about Gregory Thorne, who is living in Rome at the time when his wife gives birth to a beautiful baby. Fortunately, he misses the birth, and it turns out the baby is stillborn. But the wife doesn't know it. And he is a second. Sorry, I had to go away for a second. He is talked into by a priest at the hospital, who tells him that well, it's kind of convenient that when your wife was giving birth, someone else also gave birth at the same time, but the mother died just of the child, and maybe you can just adopt the child. No, my wife really wanted her own. It's not right. Well, you don't have to tell your wife. Like, you just you don't have to tell her. You just need to know. It's red flag number one. But yeah, this is the whole thing about the film. They adopt the baby. The husband is appointed ambassador of the U.S. to Great Britain. They move over there, and they have like 5 great, wonderful years with the baby. They name Damien. Then a bunch of strange omens start happening. Strange things that can't really be explained. Suicides, animals popping out of nowhere, strange objects and photographs that don't really make much sense. And you start wondering, what is Damien? He kind of acts a little strange as a little boy. He's never really been sick as a child. Is he just a little boy? Is he? Or maybe is he something else? Something more? As one of the very first, Antichrist and possession films ever made, this is one of the very better films of the genre. It is scary. There is a lot of great frights and cinematography in this film. They love how they build up the suspense, like when the crazed priest who kept trying to warn Ambassador Thorn that your son's the devil, your son is the Antichrist, you're gonna die, your wife is gonna die, we're all gonna die. Like when he eventually gets it with his final destination like death, which is great. It's very just amazing. I love the wide shot of when the pole is struck by lightning, he gets impaled. Fantastic. Shows us some spoilers. There are going to be some spoilers, but this movie is what? Over 40 years old. There's going to be some spoilers. Just go watch it. I'll try to keep some spoilers out though. Yeah, but what makes this film so great is the character of Thorn, because I like it. Gregory Peck really does play him as this very old-timey dad, this very old-timey guy who, I think even for 1976, his character is kind of old-timey, I guess you could say. Like, well, that shouldn't be a problem. Like when the old governess dies and the new governess, Mrs. Blackthorn, I think her name was, something like that. She comes in, he's like, oh, you're here to be the new nanny? Oh, that's great. Coming in, the baby's upstairs. Like, he just has that old school dad energy, and you can tell that he's a good person. Like, he doesn't mean bad. I mean, he may say and do some weird and questionable things, but it's all for the betterment of doing what he thinks is right and doing to protect his own. And you can't help but, just kind of laugh at his antics and just his good spiritedness at times. Like even at the very end of the movie where he is given almost concrete evidence that his son is the Antichrist, that all of these horrible things are true, he is still wanting nothing but to protect his little boy. Like, no, this is my son. I don't care what this Bukahagen priest in Megiddo said. This is my boy. This is my son. I raised him. I bathed him. This is my son. And I love that fatherly love he has for Damien throughout. It never changes. It never goes away. Like, even he says he wants to kill Damien, you can tell he doesn't. And speaking of Damien as our so-called villain of the film, Damien isn't really evil. We'll get to 2006 remake eventually, but I've seen the film so many times, and I can see that film in this film, so I know it's not shot for shot, but it's a close shot to shot remake. But I remember that little boy in that film, and that little boy, he is so obviously evil. He is so pale. He's looking at the camera like, they're afraid of me. They know what I am. I gotta do it. Yes, I know. He's just so over the top and so creepy. But this little boy, this little Damien, he isn't like that. And there are a few shots in this film where it is very trying to sell to the point that Damien may be something else, something more than human. Like the shot, the little quick shots, and when he sees the dog at the birthday party, and they got that shot, the first shot of him looking at the dog, and he had that weird, creepy, rhythmic heartbeat music, and so weary and so eerie, and just draws you in. And the first time he meets the governess, and when she enters his bedroom, how they have Damien on the floor, he's on the floor drawing, and how they have the camera position, his head is next to the fireplace. They literally have his head like sitting next to like this big pile of the big thing of flames rising up, and it's such an ominous shot. But the little boy isn't he isn't like pouting. He isn't like sticking his tongue out, showing his teeth, or anything weird. He's just looking up at her, smiling, and that is a great choice by Richard Donner. Is he doesn't play Damien as this obvious evil entity. Damien, for the most part, throughout the whole film, acts like a little normal little boy. He's playful, he's silly, he has little temper tantrums. He doesn't act overly sinister or nasty, and when the points he does act like those things, it's like, no, he's just a little boy. Like when he has that little fit when going to the church. Hey, he's just a little boy. He's 5 years old. You're taking him to this big church. He sees all these people. He sees the statue of Jesus. He gets weird and nervous. You know, he had a freak out. It happens with little kids. So you're thinking, so it's very weird because to the very end of the film, even when they cut the hair off his head and you see the 666 under his hairline, you're like, and Thorn is taking him to the church to stab him. You're like, no, don't do it. Because he's just still crying. He's like, Daddy, no. Daddy, don't. He's like, no, don't hurt the little Damien. Don't hurt the little baby. Until you get to the very end of the film, when he turns around, he looks at the camera. And he starts smiling, and the music starts playing. And you know for sure Damien knew. He knows what he is. He knows what he's done or what he's going to do. But the evils that surrounds Damien, the governess, and the hellhounds, and all this, I guess, the weather spirits, or whoever they killed, the priest, all those little things are very weird and ominous. So it's like the very threats of Damien, of what he is or what he will become, are also just terrifying. And the whole journey of Thorn and the photographer go on to discover who and what Damien is are just amazing. I love the little trip that they go on to back to Italy, and then to further beyond, and back to Rome, and then again. Side characters. There's a couple like little side characters I really like. I wish we got a little bit more about the staff members of the house. They're just gone here and there. Because there is a moment when the governess just fires them. Like Thorn, he just comes home one day. He's like, Mr. Baylock, where's the main nurse, like the main nanny, or whatever her name is? Like, oh, she's gone. What do you mean she's gone? Oh, she's gone. She left. In fact, everyone's gone. I'm the only person who works at the house anymore. She's just so weird and smug. But it's not like, it's like a polite smugness. You know what I mean? It's like, I dare you to challenge me. And like those subtle challenges too, that Mr. Thorn doesn't really know how to do or go about. I think it's kind of like a culture clash too, because he doesn't know. I don't think he wants to be perceived as rude as an American in Britain, so he tries to keep his anger in check. Like when he goes to Damien's room at night and he sees the dog, he's like, "Why is there a dog in my house?" Like, "Oh, he's a perfect healthy dog, isn't he, sir?" Like, "Why is there a dog in my house?" "Oh, Damien took quite a liking to him, so I brought him in the house." He's like, "If there's gonna be a dog in my house, I'm gonna bring it in here. You're gonna call animal control to get this animal in my house." He says so politely, but you can tell he's boiling with rage. And you can tell that throughout the whole film that he's containing his rage and anger. You can tell like he's holding in, like he's a man ready to break. And you can tell when his wife dies, that's when it happens. Speaking of negatives for this film, I never really want to say a lot. Just, I'm not sure if I would call this a perfect film. Near a perfect film though. I say when the wife dies, Kathy, because it's a very classic 70s death. You know, she's like trying to get up from her hospital room, and she turns around, she sees her killer, and they do a big zoom up to her eyes, zoom up to the killer's eyes, then shot, reverse shot, and then cut away into Kathy just falling outside. Now the falling outside is awesome, but this weird reverse shot to her, the close up on the eyes, it doesn't work. It doesn't really sell it. Some of the makeup in the film doesn't really hold up. Like when the priest gets impaled and you stare at it too long, you kind of obviously see the, the trick of how it looks. Or when the photographer gets killed, you can see the that's not his real head. Or the burnt up priest when they go back to Italy. That's some of the worst burn makeup I've seen in a minute. Yes, a lot of the makeup doesn't hold up. And well, I kind of wish they didn't do a big ol' flash forward with the raising of Damien. Maybe you could see a little bit more of Damien's earlier years. But then again, I guess what's gonna happen when he's just a baby? Nothing, I guess. Maybe there could have been a weird omen when he was a baby. All the wine turned into water. I don't know. Yeah, but this is a great film. I loved it. I love the classic 70s style cinematography and filmmaking. Every one of the actors does a fantastic job. Even the crazy priest where I was like, dude, just stop yelling at him. Like, stop yelling your Bible verses at him. Just straight up tell him that, hey, your wife's in danger. Your son might be the Antichrist. Just stop saying all that and just no. But yeah, he shows off how insane he is, how drugged up he is, and not able to think straight. Everyone sells their urgency, their insanity, and their depression well. Gregory Peck sells how much he's trying to hold his crumbling family together. And the wife, I really like, because you can see how much she's starting to break down from Damien's influence on her. We're missing a little bit of her character in this film. I think what we have with her is great and amazing, but I think we're missing a little bit. Which is funny because I think the 2006 film tries to do more with her character and it fails completely. I haven't watched that film in forever. God, I did not want to watch that one again. But yeah, The Omen 1976. Great, fantastic film. If you have not seen this film for some freaking reason, go and watch it. It is right now available on Hulu. All the movies are. So just pop it in and go watch it. It's once again, great cinematography, great acting, great directing. What little special effects there is in the film, great and fantastic. It's not stereotypical demonic possession or Antichrist film that you probably have seen if you only watch modern horror films. It takes its time. It's a very slow burn. Even by the end of the film, you're not exactly sure if Damien even is the Antichrist. I mean, he kind of is because of the sequels. But yeah, that's The Omen. I do not rate movies, but if I had to rate this movie, I give it a 10 out of 10, a full price. So that's it. Cutting out now. About to pop in The Omen Part 2, Damien. And I've not heard good things about this one. So I am fretting. Alright. See you all in the next video. Bye bye. See cups. Beat 'em up. You're still here? You're actually still here at the end of the video? Oh, I'm surprised. Thank you for staying for the whole thing. If you have a few more seconds of your time, if I could, can you scroll down to that description and hit that little button that takes you over to my Twitch? I stream there almost every day. We play horror games, action games, and visual novels. So, if you don't mind, if you like what I do here, if you can stand my annoying voice here, follow me on Twitch and we can hang out some more. Alright, hope to see you over there. Have a good day.